आपको व्हाट्सएप पे एक टिप आई और आपने उस टिप के ऊपर इन्वेस्ट कर दिया और कुछ दिनों या कुछ हफ्तों के बाद में यू सॉ योर पोर्टफोलियो इज कम्प्लीटली रेड।
स्टॉक मार्केट समोसे शेयर बाजार की सब मार्केट स्टॉक मार्केट
सिल्वर और गोल्ड में भी इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया तो गाड़ी छूट जाएगी हमारी।
चलती हुई ट्रेन में चढ़ना और उतरना हमेशा हानिकारक है, राइट? होम इन्वेस्टिंग इज लाइक
People think that higher the risk is equal to higher the return.
in the market. What happens is either you lost money or you made money. Whether the risk is low or high, you should never lose money. 2016 demonetization.
कि रात्रि को 12 बजे से 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे।
17 there was GST introduction.
GST has been passed. This is expected to be implemented in 2017.
21 everybody knows that COVID was creating havoc.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus,
coronavirus.
Again, 22, 23 had their own reasons like war, Ukraine war, then Israel Hamas. Last year was Mr. Trump's tariffs. This year is AI. See, there are major disruptions happening. You cannot deny that. But market is such an animal.
First of all, the stock market is fire, it's armed.
Like, is it the right time to invest in India or right now China is looking more?
1.5 years back, nobody was talking about China. They were saying it's a dead economy. Abhi wahi China is now the future, saying that AI is the next buzzword. And if India doesn't have any AI play, obviously money will go up.
Many people say that, when people are scared, you should invest.
There is no one answer for everybody, but discipline has to be.
Discipline has to be. So they YouTube के ऊपर videos देख के and then they start investing. So की जा सकती है. Is it?
आज का हीरो कल का जीरो। क्या आप स्विमिंग सीख सकते हैं यूट्यूब से? उसके लिए you have to dive into the deep end of the pool, right?
आपको व्हाट्सएप पे एक टिप आई और आपने उस टिप के ऊपर इन्वेस्ट कर दिया और कुछ दिनों या कुछ हफ्तों के बाद में यू सॉ योर पोर्टफोलियो इज कम्प्लीटली रेड। इफ दिस इज योर स्टोरी और यू नो समवन जिसकी ऐसी फोमो में आके इन्वेस्टिंग करने की आदत है, सो दिस पॉडकास्ट इज फॉर यू बिकॉज दिस पॉडकास्ट इज अबाउट स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग। वेलकम टू फाइनेंस सिंप्लीफाइड विद EQMint. आई हैव विद मी एन एक्सपर्ट इनटू स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग, मिस्टर हरदीप पन्नू. So Hardeep Singh is the founder of EQMint. So we'll know more about him. So welcome Hardeep ji.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I think you guys are doing a great job by educating the investors and hand-holding them through these turbulent times. So that's great.
But we are trying.
I'm sure. And let's see how we can also add value to your investors.
Definitely, you can add a lot of value looking at your profile.
Thanks.
So, to start with, I'll just start with a problem which wanted to address with you is about FOMO investing. I'll just tell you a little bit about one of my friend. He invested with silver around when the silver prices were going up like crazy and everyone is into कि सिल्वर और गोल्ड में भी इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया तो मतलब गाड़ी छूट जाएगी हमारी। तो वो सिल्वर में इन्वेस्ट करते करते वो सिल्वर गया 4 लाख पे और उसने ऊपर के प्राइस पे इन्वेस्ट किया था एंड देन सडनली एक डाउन ट्रेंड आया और वहां से उसको ही हैज टू गेट आउट एंड देन ही रियलाइज कि इसने बहुत लो प्राइस पे आउट भी हो गया। सो फोमो इन्वेस्टिंग एक
नो आई नो वेयर यू कमिंग फ्रॉम और बहुत ही अच्छा आपने यूज किया एक फ्रेज गाड़ी छूट जाएगी।
हाँ
राइट नाउ आप बॉम्बे में रहते हो तो आपको पता ही है कि ट्रेन में चलती हुई ट्रेन में चढ़ना और उतरना हमेशा हानिकारक है, राइट?
बिल्कुल।
सो इट इज़ नॉट सेफ टू गो ऑन अ स्पीडिंग ट्रेन, टू बोर्ड अ स्पीडिंग ट्रेन. So FOMO investing is like that. So you are already on a platform and you are looking at a speeding train and you're getting into that.
Correct.
So accidents are bound to happen. So just to bring back to the perspective, now silver investing, I'll tell you, I think 1980, silver was around $50. Then came 1992 and it came down to 4. Now,
It came down to $4.
Yeah, $4.
Okay.
Then again, till I think 2004 or 5, it was still 4.
Okay.
It came back to 40 again in 2013. And again, 2011, I think.
Okay.
And 13 again, around 13, it was again at $15.
Again at 40 to 15.
Yeah. So this is your safe metal, right? This is what people say as a safe investment,
Yes.
a safe metal, how it will behave. So any asset which is not inherently cash flow generating will behave like this, because there will be frenzy at times and there will be times of no interest at all. So to your friend, I think the advice should be, I mean, if you're okay with 50% drawdown in 5 years, you should be investing. Otherwise, I think it's better not to.
Correct.
To cut long story short. So the reason I gave you the perspective of the movement of silver prices was to tell you that how investor behavior can be, because those were also time of frenzies.
So I'll get into the details of more about investing and how we should invest. But before that, I want to know your backstory. How आपने ये investing world में आप कैसे आए, and was it something which you had planned, or it is like by accident you came here?
I wouldn't say it's accident, but see, I was always interested in markets. Now my actually tracking market goes back to 1990s. When I was a kid, 10-year-old, because I used to read newspaper and I used to see the sports section, and beside that used to be business section. And somehow I got hooked to that numbers, right? So every day it's up by 1%, down by 1%, and a lot of things were happening in 90s, Asian Tiger crisis and Pokhran tests, and then come 2000 there were dot-com bubbles.
Dot-com bubble.
Yeah. So all these just got me fascinated towards the market. Actually, I didn't have any perspective that time, but at least I knew that Sensex somehow relates to the economy, right? And how India is doing, this is like a barometer of that. So that was my understanding. But yeah, over the period, I got really interested. In the meantime, I cleared IIT. I went to MBA in symbiosis in finance. And I got my entry into wealth management, which was like, now you can say it's destined, but it just happened at that point. And from there on, from Citi, I went to RBS, and then I started on my own in 2014.
Okay. 2014, you started eFinserv.
Yeah.
So eFinserv is currently, I know it's like the AUM is around 250 plus CR, and also you're catering to more than 500 plus families.
Correct.
So how was this journey, and this? When did you start? Was it like you knew this is going to come up, or it was planned, or something which came up gradually?
So I mean, working for an organization and starting on your own are two different journeys. I mean, because from the level I was already in the organization, my next level was supposed to be team handling, which I never wanted to. So, so that actually pushed me towards handling clients on my own. And few of my clients gave me a lot of confidence that if you start, we'll be with you. And I think that's how it started. And then it's all been references after that. And it's been a very good journey. And the way even Indian markets have behaved during these 10, 11 years, it's been very satisfying and good experience, I would say.
So Indian markets 10, 11 years definitely, but last 1 year, what do you say? What do you feel about that?
So I like to give a little longish answer to this.
Yes.
You're okay, right? So 2014 when I started, I think this NDA 1 came in that time. So 2015, somebody was asking, like you, somebody asked me, what will happen to taper tantrum? So there was, Fed was reducing rates and contracting the balance sheet, and there was spook around the markets around the world.
Okay.
So 20-30% markets went down. Come 2016, demonetization happened.
Yes.
Then 17, I think 17, there was GST introduction.
Yes. That was.
Again, there was a disruption in the market. 2018, late Mr. Jetli, he came up with capital gain tax.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah. So
10%
again,
on all
yeah,
the people. Yeah. This
Yeah.
was.
So again, there was turbulence.
Yes.
19, ILNFS happened, and there was a lot of NBFCs which went down.
Okay.
So, 2021, everybody knows the COVID was creating havoc, right? Again, 22, 23 had their own reasons like wars and this Ukraine war, then Israel, Hamas. Last year was Mr. Trump's tariffs. This year is AI.
Yes.
So I've been answering this question for last 11 years.
Oh, wow.
So just to answer you, I think these things keep happening. So what you need to do is cut the noise. So cut the noise when I say it's not just about not knowing what's happening around you. See, there are major disruptions happening. You cannot deny that. But market is such an animal. It will react in very, very extreme ways. And those extremes are your wealth creating opportunities. So if you don't focus on those times into the market and you keep listening to the noise only, so you will not be able to make money. So
Correct.
that is my wisdom of last 10, 12 years, which I just like made a 5-minute thing.
No, it's like, you need to cut the noise, and every time हमें ऐसे ही लगता है कि something अब क्या होने वाला है, but then वो अपने आप ही time के साथ में things settle down, and market अपने हिसाब, ultimately market runs on earnings and how the companies are performing.
Exactly. So ये gist है. So earnings अगर अच्छी चल रही है और taper नहीं हो रही है, so that is the time to invest. अगर taper हो रही है, तो that is the time to maybe reduce our equity exposure. और अगर 2-3 साल से नहीं चला, मतलब एज इन अर्निंग्स नहीं बढ़ी, तो यू ऑलरेडी हैव अ लो बेस इफेक्ट. अभी कंपाउंडिंग वर्क्स सेम इन एवरीथिंग, राइट? सो इवन इन अर्निंग्स इट हैपेंस लाइक दैट. सो अगर 2-3 साल से अर्निंग्स नहीं आई है, तो देयर विल बी लो बेस इफेक्ट ऑफ लास्ट 2-3 years, and then you will see earnings coming back. So it's as simple as that, but the noise around makes it very, very complicated.
Yeah. So noise thing is actually very important to keep in mind. So एक long term perspective के लिए, एक long term सोच रखने के लिए, you have to think long term also, and जो current events है उसके आगे हमें देखना चाहिए कि how ये चीजें कैसे resolve होगी आगे के टाइम में.
Yeah.
After this, I want to know about India. Right now, people like FIIs अभी हमारे स्टॉक मार्केट के अंदर से FIIs are going right now. And एक fear बना हुआ है geopolitical situation की वजह से. So what do you think about, is it the right time to invest in India, or right now China is looking more?
See, who are FIIs, first of all? You have to know.
Yes.
FIIs are also backed by these passive flows, which is actually backed by people like you and me, right? Now, the AI buzz or China story, whatever you call it, right? I mean, 1.5 years back, nobody was talking about China. They were saying it's a dead economy. It is it's like a prison. Nobody can take out capital out of there. So all these noises were there, right? Abhi wahi China is now the future. AI to chalo, it's a new thing. It's not been talked in past. But ये stories play होती रहेगी, और FIs will have to take out money or get in money depending on the flows they are getting from outside. Now, if they are selling their investors, saying that AI is the next buzzword. And if India doesn't have any AI play, so obviously money will go out.
Right.
So that is the reason. But I believe once this settles down, because India has always been a consumer-driven economy, right? So whenever the whole dust of AI settles down a bit, I think money, the FIs will start flowing.
Flowing in.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a relief. So FIs are coming back maybe in some time. But what is the one reason you think like India is behind? And people are saying that China has got better manufacturing capacities. They are technologically far ahead of us, and the tariffs which are coming by Trump. So India-US relationship is in a turmoil right now. Then geopolitical situation overall in the world, there are some wars or something going on. So that is the reason why metals are going up, and people are getting more inclined towards metals, and getting out of the equity market. They're finding equity market more risky, and now they're going towards bonds and metals. So that is one reason people are thinking in that direction. So, but as a you have seen the cycles, you have been tracking the market. You told me आपने सेंसेक्स 3000 पे देखा है. तो आप मुझे बता सकते हो कि इस वक्त एक माइंडसेट क्या होना चाहिए? इस वक्त थोड़ा सा रिफ्रेन करना चाहिए इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट से एट दिस पॉइंट, या फिर एज many people say that when people are scared you should invest. So what should be the strategy at this point of time, or for equity, or should we focus more towards metal and bonds and different instruments?
See, it depends now. Let's say if somebody is 20-year-old, he should be out in equity because this is the best asset class to make returns, okay, and long term. Now, if somebody is retired and their income depends upon the portfolio itself,
yes,
तब उस केस में you have to sell the units also. अभी इस रेट पे सेल करना is not right, तो इसलिए उसमें liquidity रखना is important. तो उसमें bonds, like you said, bonds or different other assets can be kept. So there is no one answer for everybody. But if you, let's say, are accumulating, I would say that equity is still your best bet. Abhi coming back to India story, right? मतलब कि आपने बोला कि things are slowing down in India and China is driving the metal prices, right?
Driving the metal prices. They're far ahead in technology. Yeah. Right now, China is ahead of US also.
हाँ, तो ये जो truth है ना, it has already been there. I mean, ये कुछ नया नहीं है, right?
Correct.
So that doesn't change what's happening in India, right? So India will always be, it will not be as advanced as China or as decisive as China. But जो एक चीज top 10 economies में नहीं है, जो इंडिया में है, वो है अपना demographic dividend, right? So जो अभी 10 साल पहले I think India was younger, population was more. Abhi wo productive population is more, right? Tax-paying people are more. Consumers are more. Your car sales, your two-wheeler sales, everything is going high, right?
Individual tax, I think, is more than the corporate tax now in India.
Yeah. So that is a different discussion. But I'm saying that. So we will also age. And that is the point, maybe if we don't have that much of technology, then we will be the laggards. But till the time, our traditional consumer-driven sectors are growing well. I think this is the economy to be. That is how I think even the world looks at India. I mean, the way everybody lined up for their free trade agreements or trade agreements, you can see how people are interested in Indian market. Right?
Definitely. So, coming back to, if I want to, I have certain money and I want to allocate it in a proper manner. So, what should be the ideal, allocation for what will be the ideal allocation at this point or at any point of time? What should be the ideal allocation of your assets?
My assets or general?
General.
Okay. So generally, see again, there will be very risk-averse clients of us. There are moderate and there are aggressive. So aggressive may the equity proportion would be around 70%. There are credit AIFs which we are also doing, so they will be 25%. For moderate kind of client, there will be equity of 50% and AIF of maybe 25% bonds for the liquidity.
Okay.
And for very conservative clients, it will be further less equity, so around 25% equity, around 50% of bonds, and some part in very, very conservative AIFs.
Real estate.
Depends. Real estate, there are pre-invits.
Okay.
So there are many other things which are happening in the AIF space. That's also very interesting these days.
As someone who is just starting to starting to earn actually, investing is come second. So he is just starting to earn right now. अब वो इस वक्त ये सोच रहा है कि भाई मुझे उसको अपनी इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी इस वक्त चालू करनी, बिकॉज इंस्टाग्राम पे या व्हाट्सएप पे हमें बार बार वो आता है कि अगर आपने 20 साल की उम्र में चालू कर दिया होता है इन्वेस्टिंग, आप 2000 रुपये भी लगाते तो आज इतने करोड़ों होते आपके पास. सो उस चीज को देख के काफी सारे लोग सोचते हैं कि चलो ठीक है मैं यंग एज में चालू करता हूँ इन्वेस्टिंग. सो उसको इस वक्त क्या सोचना चाहिए, तो कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, या वो मतलब सपोज अगर सैलरी सपोज 30,000 रुपये या एक मिनिमल सैलरी से चालू हो रहा है वो, सो ऐसे टाइम पे वो कितना परसेंटेज डाल सकता है या कैसे उसको इन्वेस्टिंग चालू कर सकता है ऐसे टाइम पे, या दिस इज नॉट द राइट टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट, और उसमें उसको गाइडेंस मिल सकती है इस वक्त या उसको खुद ही करना चाहिए?
सी गाइडेंस देने वाले तो बहुत है, डिपेंड्स कि उसकी कंसिस्टेंसी कैसी है.
करेक्ट.
सो आई थिंक वो सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है कि वेदर लेट्स से मैंने बोल दिया किसी को कि चलो 20% तुम इन्वेस्ट करना स्टार्ट करो, बट अब नेक्स्ट मंथ से उसकी SIP बाउंस होनी स्टार्ट हो गई तो फिर who's to be blamed, right? एंड देन वो आईफोन नया आया और सब कुछ रिडीम करके आईफोन ले लिया. So I think till that time, that maturity is not there. This is also important. I mean, I'm not saying leave all the pleasures of the world and just start investing. सब कुछ होना चाहिए, but this is also very important. I mean, the people don't understand the, I think, law of large numbers. तो उसमें क्या होता है ना कि जब you start investing very small and you give lot of years to compound, that number becomes very large.
करेक्ट.
So वो जो lot of years है ना, वो only if you start young you can get, right?
Yes.
Otherwise
100%.
you need at 60, 65 you'll start needing that money. So to answer your question, somebody can start, but discipline has to be there.
Discipline has to be there. So but एक मतलब सपोज कि मुझे किसी वेल्थ मैनेजर के पास जाना है या मुझे किसी से गाइडेंस चाहिए, सो इज देयर एनी एक टिकट साइज होना चाहिए मेरे पास में कि मैं फिर उसके बाद जो नहीं तो maybe that wealth manager will also not be interested in so what should be that ticket size and what is the right age जहाँ पे वो चीज होती है?
See, the generation which is now coming out, right? I mean, who are starting their jobs and all. Good thing about them is that they already have parents who had some investing exposure, right?
Yes.
So within the family, you have some knowledge, or your parents are taking help of some wealth advisor.
Yes.
Right. So you can start from there. That is one starting point.
One starting point.
Let's say if you don't have that, then you have a lot of these DIY apps which you can use, and then like any other product, consumer product, wealth advisory is also that kind of service. So there are malls and there are kirana shops, right? So you will have advisors who will cater to 50 lakh plus or 1 crore plus kind of clients, and there will be advisors who will cater to 2,000 rupees SIP also. So you'll have to find the right person.
हर टाइप like ticket size के लिए there is an advisor.
Yeah.
which we can refer to.
Correct.
But and यहाँ पे जो काफी सारे जो लोग I'll come back to that जो फोमो के अंदर आते हैं या फिर दे YouTube के ऊपर वीडियोस देख के and then they start investing. So you really think कि YouTube से investing की जा सकती है? Is it possible?
तो आई थिंक सबसे इसमें पॉपुलर वही होता है कि क्या आप स्विमिंग सीख सकते हो यूट्यूब से, तो उसके लिए यू हैव टू डाइव इनटू द डीप एंड ऑफ द पूल, राइट? तो थोड़ा बहुत आँख में नाक में पानी जाएगा तो समझ में आएगा, राइट? सो दैट इज हाउ इन्वेस्टिंग इज ऑल, राइट? आई मीन आप स्टार्ट करो, यू विल हैव सम बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस और मे बी यू स्टार्ट विद गुड एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड देन यू विल नो हाउ टू नेविगेट थ्रू द मार्केट्स. अभी DIY पे since we are on that subject, so there is this joke in advisor community that there are two kind of DIY investors. One who just look at 1 year return and उसको sort करके highest वाले पे invest कर दिया. The second one, they will first go to online value research पे जाके देखेंगे क्या portfolio है, पूरे पोर्टफोलियो पे फंड मैनेजर कौन है, फंड मैनेजर का दोस्त कौन है, कोई उसका दोस्त उसके फंड मैनेजर का दोस्त है क्या, सबसे बात करेंगे, फैमिली में बात करेंगे, एंड देन दे विल गो टू वैल्यू रिसर्च, लुक एट हाईएस्ट रिटर्न एंड इन्वेस्ट इन द सेम प्लेस. So basically 1 year return matters a lot to everybody, right?
So that's like what I can say is about like, so जो आजकल के जो लोग हैं जो FIRE, that is fire, एक finance independence by retiring earlier. So what is that you think that can be achieved by by investing alone, or it has to be something like going through with someone or going with a advisor through it?
So abhi see, fire is something which is not a very novel concept. I mean, पहले से है. People who had money, जिसको नहीं काम करना वो नहीं करेगा, right?
Yes.
So, but to be in a productive wage and not to work, मतलब personally, I don't feel that that's the right thing to do. But anyways, so that aside, everybody has their own way of thinking. But what will you do if you don't work and retire early? So you need to have some alter ego, right? Let's say you like climbing the mountains, right? So you will go into Rishikesh or Everest base camp karoge, kuch to karoge. But what in my experience I have seen, I mean, this concept became very popular during COVID, I think.
Yes.
Right. So there was a client of mine staying in Pune. He had a lot of money, I mean, through ESOPs and through various other investments which he made. And he said, this is enough, I'm hanging my boots, I don't want to work anymore. Fair enough. So we designed the whole cash flow for him for next 40 years and he was happy with that. He bought a farmland and settled outside Pune somewhere.
Okay.
And within a year, he got so bored of it. He came back and he said, Hardeep, do you have any friends, clients of yours who are in IT sector and want this kind of profile? Because I want to go back into job again.
Yeah.
So I mean, point being that
yes,
easy है बोलना, करना बहुत आसान है, मुश्किल है. So you need to be very, very sure.
हाँ, कि एक्चुअली आपको सच में रिटायरमेंट चाहिए.
हाँ,
सही बात है.
Not everybody wants it, right?
So ये एक इसमें मुझे आपसे भी ये समझना था कि जो so there are different profiles of people. So some are say entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
वो normally वो बहुत passionate होते हैं, so they invest all their money in their idea basically. And कुछ लोग पॉडकास्ट में भी इन्वेस्ट कर देते सब. so और कुछ है से मतलब who are say maybe they have a plan for everything. बोलो एक प्लान तरीके से अपनी लाइफ आगे बढ़ाते हैं.
Correct.
So there are different profiles of people who are different. So how do you like see it, like passion versus practicality का एक वो चलता है एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के अंदर। तो मेरी कम्युनिटी में मतलब EQMint के अंदर हमारे पास बहुत सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स से हमारा इंटरेक्शन होता है। सो पैशन और प्रैक्टिकलिटी का एक उनके अंदर एक फाइट चलती है, जहाँ पे दे आर गेटिंग पैशनेट एंड दे आर नॉट थिंकिंग एंड दे आर जस्ट पुटिंग ऑल एग्स इन वन बास्केट। सो ऐसे टाइम पे प्रैक्टिकलिटी भी रखनी जरूरी है। सो ऐसे टाइम में यू थिंक राइट इन्वेस्टिंग कैन हेल्प देम?
So we have founders who are investing with us.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what I've seen is since there is a lot of uncertainty, right, around the funding, around the cash flows. So the portfolio has to be very, very different from a normal salaried person who knows that this much amount he can spare. But in this case, it's very, very difficult for us also to kind of anticipate. But my advice will always be that spread your risks. But these are passionate people, right? I mean,
Correct.
They also want to make big in their own concept. So just to kind of make sure that they are not thinking on the back of their mind that what will happen if this venture doesn't work. So there has to be some amount which
Emergency.
they have to keep for their heydays. So
And sometimes actually, so entrepreneurs, sometimes they make really good money. And there are, so in entrepreneurs' life, the ups and downs are really very highs and lows are very much there. And so in the highs, maybe they if they are, they have good guidance and maybe they can invest at the right time in the highs, and it helps them to face the lows.
Correct. I mean, just while you were saying this, I remembered one of my clients who was an entrepreneur, and when I started on my own, he gave me this golden rule